What's going on, everyone? Just sitting here chilling before work. This is probably going to be a small segment. Trying to get back into podcasting. Just a little update on what's going on, man. It's just, let's see. I've been podcasting more, though. I put out, I think, 3 episodes this month, which is better than nothing. Which you all remember, though, I used to put out a podcast a day, if not every other day, depending on my mood. But, yeah, dude, we are so busy. I have 2 days off that they granted me, because I work my normal 40, but I took a day off in between. Basically, I'm going to work a shift tonight, get home, get a U-Haul, drink some coffee, roll some cigarettes for the day, take the U-Haul back to my house, and we got a bunch of family members coming over on my wife's side. We're going to try to get all our moving done in one day, which hopefully, knock on wood, we can do. That'd be awesome. It's raining here in Kentucky. A nice, quiet, soft rain. Yeah, I've just been sitting here with my handy-dandy notebook, like Blue's Clues, just prepping for future podcasts. I have all these podcast ideas. I just don't have the time to get to it. That, and I've been studying some currency stuff. I'm going to do a whole episode on what I'm getting into financially, like as far as, people probably honestly were not expecting this for the channel. But I am going to start doing some currency episodes. I'm trying to put multiple eggs in multiple baskets instead of all my eggs in one basket. Just kind of like a little sneak peek of what I'm going to do, a full episode on currencies and shit. I'm getting into crypto, some Satoshi, some BitTube coin. I know it's worthless, but it's free and I have a way to earn it, and at least I'm earning something, and I'll tell you how. Vietnam dong. I have some dinar. I'm going to get into gold backs, it looks like. Utah gold backs. And maybe I think it's XRP. I'll have to look it up, but I think it's XRP. Unless that's the dude who just got locked up. But yeah, I'm going to do a whole episode on currencies and stuff. And just my journey getting into physical currencies, cryptocurrencies. And I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm going to start probably buying stocks, getting into the stock market. Because something's got to change, man. I got to find me some way to get ahead in this reality, this life. So yeah, you might see an episode pop up here and there, and it's just going to be all about currencies and finances and all that shit and what's going on. I'm going to be a wolf of Wall Street, baby. No. I might act like one. I might pretend to be one. They either buy or they die, But no, today, like I said, probably just be a segment. If I get into some other conversation, then it might be a full podcast episode. If not, I'll stitch this in with another short segment, and we'll call it a day. I might stitch this in with an episode I think I called Here's the Deal. I don't think I've stitched that in with anything. So it might be an older episode, but that's kind of what I've been doing for episodes that haven't been super long. If not, just sit back, chillax. here recently, dude, it's been brought up that RFK Jr. has a brain worm. Or had a brain worm, past tense. You can see I'm much more chill this episode than the last one. Last one I took my ashwagandha. I didn't take it this morning because, man, I got this poor little kitty. Her name's Lilith. Me and Sammy, we take cats either off the street or we adopt them. We don't go out and buy cats. Because there's too many cats without homes who need homes. So we got this little cat. We were driving one day in Harrisburg, Kentucky. And I had just woke up. It was my day off. And I was like, hey, do you want to, let's go out and get some food. Because we didn't feel like cooking that day. So we were driving to the Chinese restaurant up the road. I love Chinese food. Usually from them. They used to do crab legs, man. And they stopped doing it because of COVID. And it fucking blows because I love crab legs. But I usually get this thing called Seafood Sensation, which it's like artificial crab meat. I know, it's horrible. I get that. I get crab ragoons. If you can find it at certain Chinese restaurants, mussels are awesome, but you can't really find them too much anymore. I get that. Bourbon chicken. Spring roll. Yeah, that's my jam. So we were heading to this Chinese restaurant, and I think it was like a calico cat, long hair, little tiny calico kitten, was sitting in the main, it's like a 2-3 lane highway, like the main stretch in town, and it's called College Street. And this poor little kitty was just this puffball in the middle of the road. And we had to like stop in the middle of the road, honk the horn, and it ran across. And I went in to get my Chinese food. And Sammy's like, as soon as I got out of the car to go into the Chinese restaurant, I just kept hearing this screaming, just meow, 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 meow. And she got out of the car and she started looking for it, and I'm like, okay. She's like, can we take it home if we find it? And I said, sure. You know, I don't care. I went in, got my food. She said, I keep seeing it, but it's a different cat. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, this one's like a tiny little kitten. It's pure black. And I keep trying to get it over to me, and it's hanging out at the Arby's, you know. And I don't know. I was half asleep, half tired. I had just woken up because I worked third shift, and I got my food, and I was like, well, let's go home, you know. If it ain't coming to you, you know, I want to eat my food while it's hot. So we got home, and it was probably like sunset when I was going and getting my Chinese food. And we got home, and she, as soon as I got home, she's like, I'm going back out and getting that cat. I said, okay. And she went back out. I finished my Chinese food. Next thing I know, she's back home with this little black kitten, long hair black kitten. And I name all my cats and animals. And I guess partially the reason is too, that's why they all have like all these ancient names like Horus. We had a cat named Set. He died, sadly. And I named this one Lilith after the Hebrew legend of Adam's first wife. I did a whole episode on it. Maybe I'll stitch it in with this episode so you guys can learn that Adam had a wife before Eve. But yeah, so we got Lilith and stuff, and poor thing's falling apart. I think she's got kidney failure and kidney damage. Like, sometimes she pisses clear, and then sometimes it's like dark brown, super dark brown. And the other day was the first time that I seen it. Was like, it looked like red wine, like there was blood in it. And it just bothers me because she's the sweetest thing ever. She'll sit there and sleep next to you and snuggle with you, and she has trouble holding her bladder. So she'll piss in bad spots that she's not supposed to piss, which we don't spank her for it or nothing because we understand that she's going through some shit. And I don't know, I was talking to a coworker and shit, and I was like, you know, I think my cat's got kidney problems and like kidney failure or something. And she's like, you want me to be honest with you, hun? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, don't even take her to the vet because there's nothing they can do about it. She's probably just doomed to die. I don't know. It just fucking blows, man. And I already know someone's going to be hitting me up in the comment section going, yeah, you shouldn't have named your cat Lilith. Like, that's like a Hebrew curse. I heard it on the Roseanne Barr podcast. It's kind of like saying the word skinwalker. You're not supposed to say it, or else it summons it. And I don't know. I say her name loudly and proudly. I haven't had any paranormal issues. And we've been, you know, saying her name since we've had her, and it's been like a year. So a lot of that shit, I think, if you are so paranoid and scared about something happening, I think that it's going to make it happen, you know. But that's the story of Lilith. Why I brought that up, I can't remember, so I guess I'm still a little scatterbrained, but hey, you guys get to learn a little more about me. We were talking about JFK. Let's get back into that. So RFK Jr. just recently come out and said he had a brain worm that was eating on his brain, and it was causing basically like mental fog, cognitive issues and stuff. And he went to the hospital, went to the doctor, whatever, and was like, hey, like, am I getting dementia? Because you got to remember, RFK Jr. is like 70 years old. And they basically, like, I guess probably did like a CT scan or something like that, CAT scan, whatever. And figured out, like, oh shit, this dude, you had a worm in your head and it was eating away at your brain. And then died and started decomposing inside of his brain. And it was causing these cognitive issues. And Sam Tripoli was like, why would he even say that? Because I was listening to Sam Tripoli on the way to work today. And this is the biggest news right now is RFK's brain worm. Sam Tripoli was like, well, why would you even say that? I don't know. I wonder if he brought it up preemptively, because, I mean, everyone knows it's politics 101 that they're going to bring up everything they can. And they're already bringing it up with RFK Jr. saying, is he cognitive enough to be president? This is all the mainstream news and websites and shit, you know, which we all know is dog garbage. It's dog water. But I still pay attention to it because it's smart. It lets you, they're showing you their hand, you know, as far as the elites with propaganda and all that shit. Fake news, fake news. they show you their hand. So, the brainworm. Is he preemptively already admitting to it and telling this story to try to, I don't know, just jump the gun because he knows that they're going to dig it up? Especially his family. Because apparently, like, his family's kind of cut him off. Like, apparently they're blue-pilled as fuck. The Kennedys, the surviving members. So is he already trying to get it out there before his family says something about it? I don't know. That's my theory. Now, as far as his cognitive ability, he seems more eloquent than Donald Trump and Joe Biden to me. I was going to do a full episode on why I want RFK to win, why I'm voting for RFK Jr. So, yeah, I'm going to vote again. I voted Trump last time, and this time, honestly, I'm voting RFK Jr., so there is going to be that bias. And maybe I'll go into all the reasons why I'm not on the Trump train anymore and why I'm voting RFK Jr. maybe at the end of this video. But the dude has wrote like tons of like thick ass volumes on vaccine. He was, I think, at one point a fucking lawyer fighting the vaccine companies. He wrote a book about Dr. Fauci, on how evil Dr. Fauci is, going into the 90s AIDS epidemic, which that'd be a good idea to do an episode on for me on my half. I want to get into Fauci's past as far as the AIDS epidemic and why he was evil since the 90s. And a lot of people don't bring it up. Sam Tripoli brings it up a lot, which is good because he's bringing it to the forefront of attention on, dude, look at this guy's track record. You know, this dude was evil as fuck. So yeah, RFK Jr. is like coherent. Every interview I've heard is coherent. Do I think he has okay, no homo. This dude is physically fucking ripped, dog. Like, Joe Biden falls down every 2 seconds and jumbles his words like he's drunk as a skunk 24/7, which I understand. He's not drunk. He's just fucking got dementia. If that's even the same Joe Biden. Don't even get me down that rabbit hole. Is that even the same dude? Or is it some CIA mask and they're purposely making him look like a fucking fool? People would say, well, why would they do that? Demoralization. Demoralization, to demoralize you. Now, the dude's physically fit. I ain't gonna lie. This channel, I'm pretty open-minded and shit. And, I ain't gay. You know, I'm a heterosexual. If I was gay, though, I feel like I could be with RFK Jr. I think he's hot, you know. There's a part of me that likes older men, like RFK Jr., Iggy Pop. If I was gay, fucking, you guys are gonna tear me up in the comment section. Let's play If I Was Gay. We need a theme song. Iggy Pop, RFK Jr. I think there's a part of me that would want to be with Glenn Danzig if I was gay, but Glenn Danzig seems like he would be rough in the bedroom, and I just don't want to get my ass plowed that hard. David Bowie, when he was alive, I feel like he would be a real smooth, loving, in the bedroom. I think he would be nice in the bedroom. Prince, I think I would have been gay for Prince. All right, enough for gay thoughts. Those are intrusive thoughts, as my therapist would say. But yeah, dude, RFK Jr., man, I sub to him on YouTube, and like, I sub to him on YouTube. No homo. But, dude, he's physically fucking fit, man. He put out a video like 2 or 3 days ago of him surfing with like the greatest surfer on earth. Now, I'm not a surfer. I was a boogie boarder down in Florida. I can't swim, so I always had to use ankle straps and shit. I don't know, man. Like, I can't remember the surfer's name, and I like watching surfing and shit. Like, I'll watch surfer videos and shit every now and then, but I can't keep up with it because I'm not a surfer, you know? Honestly, the whole time while watching it, it just makes me sad and depressed because it makes me go, man, I wish that I lived in Florida long enough to where I could have learned how to surf. I wish that my parents were wealthy enough to where maybe they could have like taken me for surfing lessons or something. Like, it would have been so fucking cool to learn how to surf. But it does kind of give me hope. If RFK Jr. at 70 years old can go surfing, that's dope. To me, that's what physically we need as a president, and cognitively. I've been watching and keeping up with all of his fucking interviews as much as I can. Because I'm busy just as much as you guys are. The dude is like cognitively sound. I haven't seen him slip up like Joe Biden. I can barely get through a Joe Biden speech or fucking interview without fucking screaming at the television. Because this guy he doesn't even know how to get off of a stage and shit. Now, am I bashing Trump? I'm not anti-Trump, dude. Because I already know. Let's see, how do I say this? Because I was completely wrong about the last election, which the last election was stolen. But how can I put this? I was completely wrong. If I was a betting man and a gambling man, which I'm not, because I have too many vices as it is, I thought that they were going to put Biden in, take Biden out, not by assassination, like chill out, FBI agent who's watching. I thought they were going to put him in. I have a wish. Eyelash. Anyways, sorry. I'm superstitious and I'm a witch. I thought they were going to take Biden out and put Kamala in. And then Kamala, I guess, would have to choose a VP, which would have been like Nancy Pelosi or something. That's what I was putting my money into. I wasn't betting, but like theoretically, if I was to bet, that's what I thought was going to happen. First of all, I didn't think Biden would get it, dude. All those fucking rape charges that were coming up and shit with his like former secretary or whatever, that he was like finger blasting her and molesting her and shit. Like, do you all remember that shit? I reported on that shit. You can probably find it in my library during the last election, unless it got a strike and got deleted from YouTube. But I truly did not think they were gonna put the person in there, dude. But, and I say the person because I don't even know if it's the same fucking dude. But now it makes sense when Sam Tripoli explains it. which I am a young Ronin. He is one of my gurus. He doesn't know it, but he is a master of the sword. And I am his Padawan. When he explained it as a demoralization campaign, it kind of makes sense, you know. To demoralize the public. To put you down. But yeah, as far as... And we got to think too, man, there's a whole fucking documentary I watched. It was like an hour-long documentary, maybe 30 minutes, something like that. I might replay it and react to it and put it out there as like a podcast episode. Obviously, I'll pause it and react to it and shit and give my 2 cents. But he was one of the first dudes to have like brain surgery. Apparently he's had like brain surgery back in the day, like when brain surgery was like still archaic and experimental, man. Like he had like rubber tubing put into his brain. To me, that's more of a concern than an actual fucking worm. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but there's a statistic, and every time I bring it up, everyone in the room goes silent or they argue with me. 1 in 3 people have parasites and worms in them. So I'll get 3 views on this video. 1 out of 3 of us will have a worm. That's the point. And I know it's probably me with the lifestyle that I've lived, the cats that I own, the weird stuff that I do in the bedroom. 1 out of 3 people have worms. It's either 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4, but still, the statistics are like 25% of people have fucking worms. So that doesn't bother me as much as like some Frankenstein, literally a literal Frankenstein that is getting pushed on stage with archaic medical practices. He's got literal rubber tubing inside of his skull because they were just then experimenting on brain surgery and stuff because he had like, I don't remember. That's why I'm going to make a whole episode on Joe Biden's brain surgeries and shit. And I think he had multiple surgeries. We'll do a whole episode on that, because if they're going to bring up RFK's brainworm, which, by the way, you got to respect the honesty that he brought it up. I don't even think the media had brought it up yet. I'm pretty sure he brought it up. So it shows you the moral of his character, the fabric of his being. And I already know the comment section is going to be crazy and insane. Just everyone be cool. I'm not anti-Trump. I voted for Trump. I'm just a classic liberal. I'm done with Trump. And I have reasons for that. Like, he's gone full Q-tard. People can say, no, he hasn't. Yes, he has. Like, I've been keeping up with him on Truth Social or whatever the fuck that website is. I had a buddy who's a Q-tard was trying to get me over there, and I'm like, no, there's no way I'm putting my content out over there. They will tear me up alive because I'm a classic liberal, and I'm not a fucking Q-tard. I'm anti-Q-tard, so they would destroy me. Like, what would be the point in me putting my shit out on Truth Social or whatever the fuck it's called? That, and they're all conservatives and Republicans. I'm not a conservative. I'm a classic liberal. I'm a fucking witch, you know. I'm pro-gay rights. I'm pro-abortion, pro-marijuana. Yeah, I would not fit in. This turns out it's going to be a full episode by itself. I ain't going to have to stitch it in. My wife's going to kill me because she's been helping me put this shit out and she's still learning. But yeah, I mean, he's gone full Q-tard. He's pro-vax. Like, RFK Jr. is anti-V-word. Trump is he's telling you to go get this shit. He's telling you to exit this reality. And the thing is, he is so tone deaf that he doesn't realize that no one wants that shit. Yet he's still promoting it. Still promoting it. Still wants you to do it. He calls himself the father of the V word. Now I gotta get going. We hit the 30 mark. I'm gonna put this episode out as a full episode on JFK, or RFK's, JFK. RFK's brainworm. What my thoughts on it. A little bit of storytelling. Hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. My name is Abe Williams from Conspiracy Corner Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I'm signing off and hope you enjoy.